Okay, so the question we have is how can you display, when we type echo path, we get this, it's really hard to see what's there because it's all strung together. So there's this command echo echo -e and then $ curly brace path / colon / single quote \n, which is a new line character, single quote, and then close curly brace. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my home folder. I'm going to type nano. You don't have to do this, but if you want, it'd be fun. We can do it together. And I'm going to go down to my aliases, if you have any aliases, and I'm going to make one called alias echo path, and I'm going to use double quotes for this because there's already a single quote in the command. So this will echo my path in a human readable format. So I'll type Control-X to save, yes. And now let's do source.bash profile. This will activate it. Now if I do echo path, it works. So I get all of the stuff in my path formatted nicely. There's a question? Path?
Yeah.
Yes, sorry. Path is a special, in this case we're referring to it as a variable, but it has a more fundamental meaning as the list of all the directories where your computer looks to find a command that you type. And there are some that are, there's all this stuff here because every time you install some new software, oftentimes, depending on where it goes, you have to add that path, add that file path to your path, your big P path. So a lot of the basic stuff, all the commands that we've been running so far are pre-installed in your computer. They're in your path already. You don't have to set that up. The catch is that when you want to add something to your path, you can go to your .bash profile, say, and you can say, I want to say my path is equal to $path colon this new thing. And I see I have some typos in here. That's why I'm getting extra empty lines in my output. So there's different ways to do this, but you can just say, I want to say path. I'm going to store path as the value of path colon this new directory, and it will add that. It'll append that to your path. In this case, it will append it to the end, and then it will do that again for all these different directories.
Is there like a preferred place to put all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, in your .bash profile is good, or any file that's executed automatically when you open up your terminal will be okay, but typically bash profile is a good place.
Is there like, when you download different software,
Yeah.
is there like a specific place you put it?
Oh, yeah. People have different options. I have a folder called bin in my home directory that I use. So that is down here. But you could also, some people have one called software, or I think in your home, somewhere within your home directory is good because that's kind of a safe place for you to put things, and without like, don't put it in like /bin or /user bin because those are more for, I don't know. There might be better etiquette that I am not familiar with, but that's kind of what I do. So if I source this file again, oh, this could be, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm getting some duplicates here, I think, because of the, let me just exit out. There we go. what happened was when I was rerunning that .bash profile, it was adding these paths again, which is fine. It can be in there. If the path is in there twice, it's not a problem. When it becomes a problem is when there's the file path is not in the path and you need it there. Oftentimes, when you install a new program, it will automatically add the path to your path. Sorry, the language is a little confusing, but you get the hang of it.
If something is not in my path and I try to run the command, then you can't find it.
Correct. It'll say no. If I type, it'll say command not found. And if I type which is where's the command, you won't get anything. Which only works if there's, so if I say which cd or which pwd, that it'll tell me where the command is. But if it's not found, it'll say not found. We have a couple more special variables here. We have the process ID. This could come in handy if when you type top and you see all these various commands. So this is 13968, which is this login here. This is login is the terminal session that we have going on our Mac. So if you see one way you could kill a process that is like slowing down your computer, or if you want to force quit a program, you could type kill and then the process name. But the standard way of doing a force quit on the Mac works fine too. There's also this thing home, which is the same as the tilde, but some people like $home better than the tilde. And then finally, this doesn't really fit in anywhere.
Uppercase is just to prevent us from reassigning things above them.
Yeah, all these variables are in all caps. They don't have to be. So, sorry, the system variables have to be in all caps, or these ones do at least. The ones that you assign could be, like I can make one that says home and I can do echo, but echo home is still that.
So like if I were to assign something over, like if I said home equal, like HO, the capital HOME equals 4, that's the one that is going to replace the original?
I don't think that, I think you will get, let's see. Okay, I guess it does replace it. That's weird. I wouldn't do that. Because, and you can see we got this weird thing where it now, we've also replaced the home directory. So now it's not, and we got this weird thing where it changed our prompt because basically it now knows that this special variable doesn't mean what it used to mean. So I wouldn't do that. Bad thing to do. Special variables are there for a reason. It's like using Microsoft Word to edit your code. Like there's a special place in hell for that. Okay. Finally, there's we'll just do a little bit of like control structures. There's all kinds of programming things you can do in Bash. You can do if-then statements, while loops. The only one we're going to do is a for loop because I find it's really handy. So we can go back to make sure we're in our thing here, and but we're just going to do a basic for loop. So we're going to say for I in and then hit enter, do, hit enter, we'll say echo I, and then done. So what this is doing is it's saying for I in this range of numbers from 1 to 3, and we'll see those in a minute, what that's doing. It's called brace expansion. We have to type this word do and then hit enter, and then the commands come next, and we can have many commands. Here we just have one, and we're going to say echo $I and then done. And so what it's going to do is echo or print the value of I and then go back until it's done executing the loop. This is a for loop. And then you can, if you type our up arrow, which goes back a command, we could even add another command here. So when it's written out like this, the do can be on the same line as this first command.
Did you add that second semicolon to that?
Yes, I just did.
Sorry, I didn't see you do that. And I was like, oh,
So I added this other command that's called sleep, which all it does is just wait any number of seconds. So I just waited 1 second between each execution. This dovetails nicely with the next part. So let's do a. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to type cat count.sh. Now I'm going to enter in the command just using cat, but if we make a mistake, it's hard to go back. We can simply save it the best we can, and then we can go open a text editor and fix any mistakes that we make. So we can say for I in, let's do 1 through 5, do, and then typically we would type a tab and say echo $I, and then done, and then hit Control-C. Now, if you make any mistakes, you can open up Nano or your favorite text editor, Emacs, of course, or Vim. But let's just use Nano because it's super easy, and you can say for I in 1 through 5, do echo $I, and then done. So we can type Control-X. And now we're going to execute this file. The first thing we can do is we can view it one more time. We can type cat, make sure it's doing exactly what we want, okay? And then we can say bash count.sh. So now we're going to run the bash program on this script. So it's within the command line we can run bash. And you should get this output. So this is your first program, really. And it's doing something very simple. It's just printing the value of a variable, which in and of itself isn't very useful, but you can build on this to do a lot of stuff. Are there any questions on that? So we can also we can copy count to, we can just say call it print. So we're going to make another script called print, and we can go nano print, and we can say and this is a case where everything after this for I in, now I could be anything that we want to call the variable, will just be part of the loop. So we do bash print. Oh, let's first, I'll just show you what it's doing. So here's a case where we don't we're not using this special brace notation. We're just, this could be useful as, say, let's say you have 5 files and they all have different names, and you just want to say for I in the names of those 5 files, and you want to do something. So you could manipulate some text, or you could rename one word to another using some of the tools we'll talk about in a minute. You could copy it to a new folder, any number of things. So that's running a bash script, which is incredibly powerful, because any of the commands that you do in the terminal can be done in a bash script, and you can set it to run automatically and do everything at once. Another example that we've already seen is this source command. This is where you are running a dot file, which would be like your .bash profile. We've seen how that's used. And we'll see a little bit more about brace expansion in a minute. Are there any questions on that? Okay. Let me just stop this here.